Okay, testing, 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everybody. Hello, my name is Wayne McDonell. That's me right there. I'm a currency trader. Been doing this for 10 something years, 10 plus years, in front of a crowd with people looking over my shoulder. I love it. Keeps me sharp, keeps me focused. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay and ECN that allows you to trade Forex, energies, metals, and stock indices and binary options. Cool. This is a strategy session. We do it every day. It's just after 7:30 in the morning, New York time. It's Tuesday, July 21st. And, well, today I'm going to call a sick day, I think. What it is I'm so tired that I'm sick. Blah. I'm in between, you ever get there? I'm in between sleep patterns. Like, I'm somewhere between normal and abnormal sleep patterns. And I can't sleep during the day and I can't sleep at night because I'm not sure, I'm not on a cycle. No, I guess Wyatt will do it tomorrow. Human time or Hunan time. So anyways, guys, I think this is going to be a brief one. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I don't know if it's the beginning of the day or the end of the day. My circadian clock is messed up, but I never quit on you, even if I feel physically ill. We'll do some technical analysis. I'll answer some questions, make sure you got what you need to succeed through the New York session, and we'll call it a day. Is that fair? Cool. Okay, cool. Well, let's roll the B-roll, and then I'll start. Got to do the disclaimer. Let me remind that trading is risky, not appropriate one. However, your past performance, good or bad, is not indicative of future results. But please always stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Today's session is sponsored by TradersWay.com and hosted at Forex.today. If you watch this video, please leave a like or a comment, whether it's on YouTube or Forex.today. Would appreciate that. All right, so this is where we left off on Aussie. And there's the top. And the prediction was up and down. Interesting. Came down, hit the first target, completely reversed 100%, and then came down, hit the target a second time, reversed 100% again. And yeah, so I think maybe we should mark this as a support zone. What do you think? It seems to me this kind of area here is our top zone. Does that seem fair? So at one point, this was a trend trading strategy, and now it's a consolidation strategy or a range strategy. Okay? At least on this time frame. Now, if I change the fractal, okay, so remember every technical chart includes two things, price and time. So this is the price time continuum. But you can change the observer, right? Because it's all relative to the observer. So we can change now to a 4-hour. Seems generally down, doesn't it? And then I zoom in. And there's reasonable chance that we're tickling this 21 and that it tries to find its way down. Okay. If not, the next level up is going to be back in here. Which was the original short anyways. I was short this at like 73.93 or something. So I basically said 4, right? So okay. Do you guys remember doing this? Once again, the orange line's being drawn before price. Well, the fib was drawn, the retracement was drawn, but the extension was not. And the 382 predicts a 1618, and we did hit the 1382, and we did get through it. So the actual target is 72.5. Igor wants to know if I'm still in the trade. It's not necessary for me to pip and tell. Leave that for the locker room. Okay. Anyways, yeah, it looks like some of you guys actually traded this. Oh, don't be sorry. I'm just a gentleman. Okay, but what I'm trying to do is teach you, right? I would like to have a team of warriors that can independently make trade plans like this and then trade them for profit. Right? That's my dream. I want to have a big team of 25 or 50 is too many. 25 would be enough. So more than 25 because you always got to, cut the fat. So I'd like a team, let's say a solid team of warriors of at least 25 people, men and women, young and old, mostly ugly because pretty people are a distraction, that can trade independently, and I'll bring the money. You bring the pips, and we'll have a good time. Right? So this is what we need here. Plans. And that's what I'm trying to teach, right? Yeah. So that's all I care about here is the past, what happened, why it happened, why we're down here. And I'm glad some of you caught that. Cool. Are the fundamentals still the same? Well, I think, if, I don't think commodity prices are going to have a serious rebound in the short term, let's say. And we still have an RB&Z meeting, I think, right? My gosh, I don't even know what date it is. Yeah. And let's say if they do what they say, which isn't necessarily what they're going to do, maybe they have a benign impact, or maybe they don't do what they say and the Kiwi weakens, and that would drag the Aussie down. But Aussie is very oversold, and for logical reasons. So until the trend changes, I think it will stay the same. I mean, it's kind of funny, right? But that's how I look at it. Like nothing's going to change this until it changes. Another way of looking at it is I don't have to be the one to reverse this market. So I don't have to guess, right? Where's the little thing, bubber? Is it here? Yeah. So that's that's what, in my humble opinion, that's what's going to happen and continue to happen. We have come a long way. That's all right. All of this needs to happen. So Vikram says he read the RBA meeting minutes. Cool. That it's still historically overvalued. Yep. That's good. The part that I like to read about, and in fact, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I was chit-chatting with a reporter at Bloomberg about this, about reading anything RBA, and reading sort of into the subcontext about creating bubbles, in particular out of the real estate market. Because when your currency is being devalued, which it is, at that point, it's a pretty good idea to have a physical asset like solid gold and real estate. But Demeter was trying to play it, trade it. Well, remember, guys, we talked about this, and I think the British pound as well. You should be in it a day or two in advance for that type of trading. You got a swing trade, that type of event. It should probably be in it, a couple of days in advance. Anyways, let me get off this Aussie. Good demeanor. Jam the stop, take a walk. Okay. So it seems to me this is played out. That was reasonably accurate, don't you think? And you could see in this case, yesterday's London high was a daily central pivot point, which would predict if that's the high, then the daily S2 is the target. And, we got within a few pips of it. And now it's cycled around. Looks like we want to take a breather. But how do you feel about that pattern? Okay, we made a lower low. Right? You drag across the old support level, which would become resistance. And then you move down. Okay. That's the first one. Everybody feel good with that? All the components of everything I teach every single day, over and over and over again, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples. Here we are again today. But now something different is happening, right? So now you need to recognize something different is happening, and you need to adjust. Should get rid of that. Okay. So let's move this across. And we should recognize that, trading a continuation pattern would probably fail here, at least on this time frame. Okay? It's important to acknowledge that. Let's move out to a 4-hour and realign our satellites. Get rid of this. Let's go to a daily. Probably too much, huh? Clean up some of my charts. Don't need this. You say you want diamonds on a ring of gold. You say you want. All right. So that's kind of where we are here. Getting close to the end of a stock cycle, but I don't fret too much about that in a trending market. Namaste, Dubista. Okay. So I don't fret too much about that. One of the things I do pay attention to is where we are in relation to the 5 EMA. And then if that breaks, then where we are in relation to the 21 EMA. Okay. Just like any other frame. Well, let me stay zoomed in here. Okay. Down, 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 down. Okay, old support becomes resistance. Let's see, it should be more like that. Okay. New low. Old support becomes resistance. Down, 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 down. Maybe, just maybe, babe. Old support becomes a resistance. Maybe there. Here. I don't know wherever you see it, right? Michael says bullish engulfing. Yeah, well, maybe. See, the level that I'm paying attention to is the 5 EMA. And there's a reasonable chance that this can continue to hold. Oops. Great. I drew a nice. I drew a nice. So now let me do it again. Insert shapes ellipse. I'll draw it first. Ah, hell. My mind is dull. I can't even draw a circle. All right. That was worth all that effort, right? All right, so go into a 4-hour now. That's not going to hold its shape. Too bad. Anyways, what I'm trying to say in English is that 5 EMA is still important, and that is a dynamic level of resistance. And, you know, it has held in the past. Doesn't have to hold now. Okay, and like I said, if this does break, then I will assume a retracement back into the to the higher level of resistance. I would expect a retracement here. Throw in the weekly, throw in the roll reversal, throw in a falling 21. In the future, it'll be lower, and we'll sort of meet up in here. Maybe even sooner than you'd expect, like that. And if that were the case, then I would expect an extension down. Okay, so that's what I'm paying attention to now. That's plan B at the moment. Plan A is have it roll over sooner than later. So basically, one of two plans. Let's try plan A. Okay. And now plan B. How about that? I like how arbitrarily they're different colors and different font sizes. Nice. Okay. And here we are up in here. And I drag this, go back to the daily. This, we're on the, oh, we're on this little one. Well, then let me go to that hour. We're sort of at the first level of possible resistance. And we know, I believe we know, that the daily 5 EMA is in here somewhere. That's what this is. I can't draw any of them. We got just too much going on this chart. And I think this other weird thing is also the circle. Come on, MP4. We need better programming than that. So anyways, we have a cell up here and a cell sort of up higher, a little higher than we are now. Okay. Okay. So plan A is to sell here. And probably to that. And I think plan B would have a larger extension down. What? Everybody following me? Either consolidate down here or have a bigger pullback with a bigger extension. Okay. Let's do a, you want to do, well, kitty cat, you should know we're stuck at 130. Yen, let's do yen. Well, okay, so Igor says, funny, Aussie and Euro are same story. Well, yeah, put it in context because it's important. The common denominator is the US dollar. That's the quoted term is USD. And it's in a bullish cycle, right? The base, Aussie and Euro, are currencies that are in a bearish cycle. So generally speaking, they're going to do exactly the same thing. Okay, USD yen. Yesterday's high. It's not doing a whole lot, is it? Well, I drew this yesterday for you in our live session. We were up here. I said to let it come down, buy it at the roll reversal. Maybe it goes up. How do you feel, guys? That was around 24.10, and it went up pretty close to 24.50. Not a lot of pips, but the pattern is the pattern, right? So I drew this for you. So I drew it to there. What do you think? Remember, it started at 24,000 on the gap. Okay, it went up and retraced back. And I didn't trade this. It was a London Open. I didn't trade it. I was hoping it would come down 8 more pips. I know I missed it. And I think it was right around when I shorted the Aussie. So I took one, but not the other. But anyways, it did go up. And then yesterday in New York, we were up here. So I drew the roll reversal and it dropped way down. And then it went up. Now, it went up a couple of times too, right? But that's, once again, I'm just trying to show you the pattern. Higher high, higher low, higher high, so on and so forth. Now, if you look at yesterday's high and yesterday's low, we have daily central and we have a 382 clustered about the same. And down here, we have a 618 and a cluster of pivots. You see it? So areas of opportunity. This is your AO. So bull would be looking at these areas here as maybe some sort of move like that. Okay. Okay. So yesterday I drew a euro yen long for you. It's deceiving, right? Because we're actually up here. Let it fill. There we go. So, how did I do? Projected top was here. Projected entry was here. Yeah, well, it collapsed on us. Oh well. Tricky when you're getting something weak and hoping the other currency gets weaker. Tricky game. Wrong. Same thing with kitty cats, and well, Kiwi is trying to recover, isn't it? Okay. Does anybody remember doing this one? No? Yeah, Daniel does. Yeah, Ryan does. But this was, what, a million years ago, wasn't it? But we were hoping for a place to, I think I said I'd like to corner the market on the Kiwi, but I said it when the Kiwi was the weakest currency on the planet. Would that be correct, or was it after the fact? 99.5% sure. I explained how I wanted to corner the market on the Kiwi yen. Yeah, before the fact. Yeah, when it was worthless. What makes it is maybe lower. Well, I have it drawn up here. Okay. But notice it's after this move. So yeah, I did want the double bottom faux show. And eventually I got it, right? Many days later, but it happened. Cool. So the question is, do you build a position? So to do that, you're going to have to change your strategy, right? So I'm just drawing the context of where we are. But little things like you see the higher high here. Oops. So old resistance becomes support, right? Notice how it squeezes in the weekly pivot point and stuff. Okay, cool. Makes a higher high, you roll reversal, higher high, roll reversal. For those that were going to make a career of looking for double bottoms with reversal patterns, maybe this is one. Oh, I use Snagit. You're talking about this, right? Yeah, I think it costs $50. See? Does it look like I'm winging it when I trade? Right? I mean, you guys can show me your trades like this. How about is anyone leaving, like every single day I do things like leave myself notes, right? Like memento. Like this one here. Or I think I've seen 3 or 4 trade plans come to fruition in which I have the analysis drawn out. I have the fib, I have the projection drawn out into the future before it happens. Are you guys doing that? Okay. Kinda. Igor, I'm always picking on Igor's language, right? It's a yes or no question. Igor, are you pregnant? Kinda. There you go. All right. Telling you, language is important. All right. So, anyways, I'm hoping that I'm leading you down the path to positive trading behavior. Okay, because I don't know, to make me look good or something. This is this is the behavior you should have to be a successful trader. I mean, that you're doing analysis ahead of the time, right before things happen, and that you're building projections. Okay. Beautiful 618 on the DAX. Even after that big QE rally, look, it came down to the 3A2, responded favorably, but collapsed into the 50%, responded favorably, collapsed down to the 618, responded favorably, and has made a higher high. I believe if you look at the Euro USD, then when it goes up, Euro USD probably goes up. Just think about hedge funds tiptoeing into Europe and buying it cheap. Remember, I told you very, very clearly, when there's quantitative easing, you buy the stock market. Okay? What EA do I use for pivots? There's no EAs involved. I use 2 or 3 different ones. So that Ryan, if you're trying to replicate my charts where I have like daily, weekly, and monthly pivots, you can't. The reason for it is I have 2 or 3 different pivot pivot indicators. So just Google it, find your own, and set it up. Okay, so let's see. Anything else worthy of discussion? Okay. You know gold, right? Well, we're back around the 1100. Remember, I've always said that people are going to defend 1100, and the only reason to defend 1100 is that it's the closest line in the sand before you get to 1,000. And some people just don't want it to touch 1,000. Okay. So, at least on the short term, I wouldn't be shocked to see a bit of a recovery in gold. You haven't heard me say that in months, maybe a year. Okay. But you have talked to me about, you have heard me discuss this psych levels on gold, and I believe we've touched one. So maybe we just come up and you sell it in here. Okay, that's cool. So sell 1150 maybe? Well, Igor, they're not my property, Igor. I did not program these EAs. It would be unethical for me to just distribute someone else's prior art, someone else's intellectual property. So that's why I say Google it, find your own, right? But it's not my, you know. So look, my background, I studied graduate level law at university. There was a small period of time where I figured I'd be a lawyer. So I value that. And then second of all, I became a venture capitalist in intellectual property. My day was filled with reading at least 5 patents. Well, not at least 4, but usually 5 patents a day, and interviewing the inventors and the entrepreneurs that created that intellectual property, and I would decide whether it was worth investing into, and then I would do market research with my analysts and build a case to take to the review board on whether we should invest or not. So, and then if that occurred favorably, then, I'd negotiate with the entrepreneurs to buy their intellectual property. So blah, 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 blah. It comes down to, I respect people's intellectual property rights, both sort of legally, both as an investor, but also as an entrepreneur. I was a successful entrepreneur in the Silicon Valley in the early .com days. I care about these things. So I'm not going to distribute someone else's intellectual property. It's not my business is to teach you how to use any tool on the planet. We could remove every single indicator on this chart and be able to trade it successfully. And if you want to get more tools, do your own research, find your own right source, and hopefully you do something that's legal and ethical. And if some guy built an expert advisor that helps you make a lot of money, maybe you pay him money for that tool. Now, some of the tools I have, for example, I've paid money for. Igor's found 1,000 not as good as yours. I probably paid someone. I know I have bought and paid some of these EAs from a programmer. So you can also find programmers and say, all right, this is what I want MT4 to do. You explain it, and they say, yeah, I can program that for you. It'll be $200. And you're like, boom, done. Right? Yeah. So, yeah, don't worry about the free EAs. Pay somebody. Contribute to global GDP, guys. It's your tool. This is your business. It's worth investing into. So, anyways, blah 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 blah. So gold's come down. I think the last real recommendation that I made was sell it at 1382. Now I'm saying be careful. We just hit 1,000. The real line in the sand is 1,000. But a lot of people, let's say, that would lose a lot of money below 1,000, they're going to start defending. They don't want it to even get close to 1,000. So I think you'll see lots of futures and options plays, all kinds of things, directly or indirectly support gold from at least falling. I don't know. To me, having it go up to 1150 it's not rallying, but I certainly wouldn't sell it at 1100. So maybe a retracement back to 1150 might be reasonable, right? And I think that's that. I'm looking around the world. Aussie dollar is on its daily central pivot point, potentially acting as support. Anything else interesting? No. Pound dollar on a midpoint psych level, not that important. The dollar index seems to be supported by its 618 Fibonacci retracement. Maybe important. Well, if dollar index goes up from here, then euro dollar comes down, Aussie dollar goes down, USD CAD goes up. Okay. Also, if you are watching USD CAD, you may have noticed that its 618 Fibonacci retracement has acted as support. Michael says dollar. Well, I covered euro dollar, Aussie dollar, USD yen, so you have enough information. Yes, Nuno, I said I would. Yeah, my pleasure, sir. Pound yen. Well, I looked at pound yen and it didn't seem to be interesting, but okay. What do you want to do with that? I mean, that's maybe kind of something. See, I look at that and I just see, a trade from last week or the week before, right? I think maybe if it came down and tickled the weekly central, I'd eyeball that. Maybe 92.50. I look for a pop, but I don't know. It's just maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just having, like I said, I'm having a bit of an off day. I'm just so tired. I can't tell what day it is. I don't even know if it's nighttime. I mean, so I need to find a sleep pattern. So maybe it's just me. But I don't find it exciting. And it's called the beast or the widowmaker for a reason. So unless I got a great trade setup, I'm going to ignore it. You want to lose 50 pips quick? Take a mediocre trade on pound yen. Thinking of tomorrow's news. Okay, good. But, you got to play it then as a range, right? You should have bought it around 93, but, here's the problem. So let's say you catch it around 93.20, 50 pips puts your stop around 93.70, right? And you notice it's not enough, is it? Okay. Okay. That's the problem, isn't it? It's not quite enough. What you'll find is this thing could very often just come down, boop, 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 and instead of making 150 pips profit, you lose 50 pips. So I don't know. It's just I'd be more interested down here. That's all. So, anyways, guys, let's make it a shorter session today. I can't figure out whether I'm coming or going. That's the life of a currency trader, I guess, right? So peace on earth, pips be with you. May your profits be above average. I hope you see me not wimping out on you today, but just the opposite of working hard on your success. Let me tell you, every bone in my body said, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. But I'm here. I gave you all I had. So hopefully it was still helpful. So anyways, maybe you'll use TradersWay as your ECN as you grow to find your success in Forex. I'd like to thank Forex.today for hosting today's seminar. The recording will be made available on the website in probably an hour and a half. And I'll see you tomorrow. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please leave a comment, okay? Take care, guys. Thanks for being on my team. You keep me sharp and you keep me focused.